Hey there, welcome back to High Infidelity, the best channel for cheating stories. Like and subscribe to channel for more spicy stories. Now, let's get into today's story video.
Today was the nail in the coffin for me. My wife and I have been married for 4 years, and we've been dating for 8 years prior to that date. I am 31 years old, and she is 27 years old. Everything looked to be going well until she started a new job around 2 months ago. We were always on the phone with her since she had changed her phone's password. She was forced to sleep in the guest bedroom due to insomnia, and she was constantly checking out of our home. Then, about a month later, I begin to get text messages from a male coworker. Nothing was discovered, but I have a strong suspicion that it was taken there. Their conversation revolved on how we were emotionally cheating on each other and how we were cheating on each other. As soon as she learned the truth, she begged and pleaded with me to stay so that we could work it out in marriage counseling together. She maintained this emotional detachment for all but 2 days before reverting to her old state. Then, when I checked at our phone logs recently, I saw that she had continued to contact him even after I had set a hard boundary that we would not talk after work hours. 1 or 2 of these calls came in after midnight and lasted for an hour and a half each. Some folks were right when they said she was awake for an hour. From this point on, I'm done, and I'm merely looking for the most promising opportunities for the foreseeable future. In my own house, I will not serve as a doormat or as a fallback plan for anybody. Update 1. I discovered my wife's emotional affair last week and have been working on myself for the previous 2 months. She begs me to remain, weeping that she doesn't want to tear up our family. She chose to split up our family after she violated my clearly defined boundaries when I discovered text messages from a male coworker, then phone conversations that continued after I warned her to stop. Our communication has improved significantly as a result of this, and she is now sleeping in the same bed as me and fighting for our marriage. I don't think I'll ever be able to trust her again. A part of me wants to file right away and be done with it. But another part of me wants to at least claim we attempted therapy for the sake of the baby. While typing this, I understand that divorce seems to be the only option. I'm primarily afraid of divorce because I don't want any random person she comes home to hurt my child. If we didn't have a kid, I'd tear the bandage and be done with her. Right now, I'm praying for the best while bracing for the worst. Update 2. After opting to divorce, I've been living with my SDBXW for the last 3 months. We have now been assigned a court date in February. After telling my SDBXW this, she asks the following day, "I have a horrible feeling about spending nights away from the kid. Do you think you could remain till the summer even after the divorce?" She also attempted to position it in such a way that it would benefit me since the location I moving to is farther away from the baby's daycare than my present residence, and I would have to travel longer to take the child to daycare. I told her I'd think about it. But I'm thinking to myself, you should have thought about it before you cheated on me. I had rather favorable conditions in the paperwork that we both signed peacefully. There is no child support, no alimony, and joint custody is split 50/50. At this point, I'm not sure whether to be honest with her and tell her I don't intend to remain in that home any longer than necessary, or to tell her what she wants to hear until I get what I want. I'm afraid that if I'm honest, she'll change her mind about the divorce arrangements or make false accusations against me. Story 2. My 28 male, wife 29 female of 9 years broke my heart and cheated on me after all that I put up with and sacrificed for her. I'm completely and utterly broken. Even though I'm not sure if anybody will read this long post, I just need to get it off my chest because I'm completely broken and have no one to talk to. I haven't eaten anything in 3 days and haven't slept much. My wife and I met when we were both 18 years old. In the course of my life, I met and fell in love with a beautiful, generous, and kind person who was full of life and joy. We married and had our first child not long after. I saw right immediately that this free spirit kind of personality suffers a crisis when confronted with responsibilities, kids, houses, etc. When she was feeling down, she would engage in escapist activities such as smoking, overeating, chatting on her phone all of the time, and so on. As the years went by, I became less judgmental and more accepting of her nature. I even began to gravitate toward her, sitting outside with her and watching her play on her phone, go out with her friends, and so on, until I eventually became her friend. Every day, my wife would tell me how amazing I was, how she was madly in love with me, and how, even after 8-9 years of marriage, she would still show both emotional and physical proof of her feelings for me, including weird physical ones, like sniffing my body odor and stuff like that. Overall, we enjoyed a wonderful marriage and a good home life together. As a result, my wife has experimented with many methods throughout the years. She went to college for 4 years, very intensive ones, and dropped out after a year of working in the area. After that, she wanted to be a salesperson, then a nail tech, and finally an online business owner. And during all of those endeavors, she makes little to no money, is constantly on the phone or dealing with something, and is unable to contribute much around the house as a result of her busy schedule. My willingness to take it all was motivated by a desire to see that the partner I had chosen could finish and pursue his aspirations. I didn't want her to live a life of regrets, so I worked extra hard, sometimes 4 jobs at once, to ensure that she could accomplish it all. Nothing, not even a bachelor's degree or special accreditation. I tried a BSc in computer science, but stopped out after half a year because it was too demanding for her company. It was either her or me, and I picked her. Following the closure of her prior company and the celebration of her 30th birthday, I feel she had a personal crisis, which I was completely ignorant of until we had a quarrel 4 weeks ago. During that fight, she exaggerated everything, she wouldn't come home, and when she came, she would sleep at the couch, scream at me when I talked to her, and so on. She blamed everything on her relationship with me, telling me how I didn't let her do everything she wanted while she was doing it, and that she still had to fulfill some responsibilities as a result of our relationship. Yay, the audacity! We went to therapy, and after 2 weeks of her emotionally tormenting me, she opened up about some of the things that had upset her in the relationship, and I considered it, and promised myself that I would change for her, which I did, and I'm still working on those things every day. We're still in therapy. After my metamorphosis, she grew more open to me, but I had a strange feeling that something wasn't quite right. As a 30th birthday present, she suggested that I sleep with other females if I wanted to, which was something she would never have agreed to in the previous years. I grew worried because there was this one guy who worked for her delivery company with whom I saw her communicating often on the phone and over text messages, and I became concerned. When I challenged her about it, she answered in kind-o, "He's the one. Nothing, but it's so hot that you're wishing you were there." Eventually, she came to me and declared that she respects and loves me as a person, as the father of her children, and so on. She couldn't understand why she couldn't love me as a partner again. What is that nonsense? When a relationship ends, one's feelings for the other person do not simply fade away. When she told her friend how much she loved me, it heightened my suspicion that something was wrong. I snooped around her phone and discovered she had deleted all of her conversations with that dude. She was acting discreetly, she was visiting his place, and even though I don't believe they slept, I don't care, I believe that emotional cheating is taking place. That individual came to my house, interacted with my kid, and shook my hand, among other things. I really want to stomp on his head, but I'm holding back since the kids need my assistance. Yesterday, after being on the verge of breaking up with her, giving her space, allowing her to go out whenever she wants, and trying my best to be a better person, I told her she could effort herself and leave me alone. I'm done. Cheating is my limit and she's crossed it. I'm done. Discovering that you've been cheated on is still terrible, and it may seriously damage your self-esteem. Furthermore, we have 3 children who are completely reliant on us. I'm always thinking about them, which is why I've done all I can to salvage our marriage, but I fear that there is no way to repair it now. I believe she has emotionally abused me to the point that I will never be able to trust another woman again.